Seven, six, five, four, three, two, one.
It's now time for the Pony Cake Sports Podcast with your hosts, Josh Stevens, Tim Thompson, and Tom Schultz. Woo!
Hey there, everybody. We are back with another episode, and this time we are doing a mailbag episode, answering some questions on SleeperBot, and also some questions sent in to us. So, before we get to that, Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Josh. I love these interactive shows with some of our fans on the SleeperBot app. A lot of good questions coming from these guys, and it's a good community to be a part of.
Let's go ahead and answer some of these questions. First one, Phillip Rivers or Matthew Stafford? Who are you drafting and why?
Give me Pip Rivers. I do like Matthew Stafford and Pip. Both of them have been consistent quarterback ones. I just like the volume that we have seen out of Pip Rivers. He's been one of the most consistent quarterback ones in the past 5 to 10 years. And I really think the Lions are going to try to run the football as much as possible this year. Invested a lot into that running back department and the offensive line. But give me Pip Rivers. I think he's been more consistent. The loss of Hunter Henry does hurt him, but it's like he's getting a new number one pick this year in Mike Williams.
Yep.
That offensive line has improved, and I just feel more comfortable starting him week in and week out.
Yeah, same thing you just brought up with the loss of Hunter Henry. It does hinder Phillip Rivers a little bit, but it also helps him out a little bit in fantasy purposes because, in my opinion, I don't think they're going to bring in another tight end. If they bring in Antonio Gates, it is what it is, man. He's not going to command much attention. He can't run routes the same as Hunter Henry can or did before his injury. But I think you're going to see a lot of Mike Williams. You're going to see a lot of the other Williams and a lot of Keenan Allen. And you're going to see Mr. Phillip Rivers throw the ball and throw the ball quite a bit. So Phillip Rivers for me over Matthew Stafford in this one as well. Somebody else has got a question. Drop advice. Should I drop Ellen Hearns or DJ Moore in a PPR league? Obviously, this is a league that has already done their draft. This is a very interesting question because these are two guys that their ADP is pretty similar in the 10th, 11th round. DJ Moore, obviously, the first rookie wide receiver off the board in the actual NFL draft in the 2018 draft. And then you got to look at Ellen Hearns. Ellen Hearns is going to the Dallas Cowboys and possibly being the clear-cut number one option, besides rookie wide receiver Gallup there as well. What are your thoughts on this?
It's tough to really know who's the better option. Is this a dynasty league? Is this just a redraft league? I'm going to guess that it's a dynasty league, so I would suggest dropping Ellen Hearns before DJ Moore. Obviously, both of them right now, according to Fantasy Football Calculator, one's going at 907, that's Ellen Hearns, the other 1001. So right by each other. They're probably your wide receiver 4, 5, or 6, probably a combination in there. But I like the upside that DJ Moore possesses. I think Hearns he's got a better chance to be more consistent. But if these guys are your wide receiver 4, 5, or 6, I would rather have that upside chance right there, and I think Moore provides that.
Yeah, you could go either way on this one. Hearns, you have the clear-cut number one option.
Yeah.
He's most likely going to lead the Dallas Cowboys in receiving and probably receiving touchdowns. Gallup, which is another wide receiver, rookie wide receiver that the Cowboys have. I have a feeling he'll be okay in that offense as well.
Yeah.
You got to remember, there was talk about that kid being a first-round pick this year. Obviously, that cooled down, and he actually wasn't. But DJ Moore has a lot of hype behind him for the Carolina Panthers. And, again, DJ Moore is probably somebody I would lean with keeping rather than dropping Ellen Hearns.
Yep.
This is actually a very good question, Tom. Stay with me on this one. It's very long. I have the first overall pick in a 12-man, 2-keeper, full-point PPR league. My 2 keepers are going to be Shady McCoy and Jordan Howard. Most of the top 2-round players are kept. I have the chance to get Saquon Barkley, Hopkins, or Keenan Allen. Who should I go with? I'm leaning towards Hopkins, so I can secure a top wide receiver, but Barkley seems tempting. Again, he's keeping McCoy and Howard.
Does it say how many starting running backs or receivers they have, or if there's a flex?
It doesn't, but I'm going to assume it's going to be 2 and 3.
Okay. That does kind of make a difference if it was a flex. I think it's clear cut. You take Saquon. I would still go Saquon Barkley here. I would try to make a way to either try to trade a LaShawn McCoy and try to get a wide receiver there. But I think the value that Saquon Barkley possesses right now. Look, rookie, still hasn't seen the field in the NFL, and he's still a top 5 to top 7 pick in the NFL in a redraft league. This dude possesses all the talent in the world. I think he's going to be a special running back in the NFL. There's no way I could pass him up. DeAndre Hopkins and those 2 running back he currently has would be a nice 1-2-3 punch right there. But I just could not pass up Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, at that point in time, I would. If I have the choice between those guys, I would probably try to change my keepers around. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't want to keep McCoy and Howard. I would want to keep one of those guys. And if I had a wide receiver, I would keep a wide receiver then, if that's the case.
100%.
But if I was for sure keeping those 2, man, it really hurts to say that I wouldn't keep Barkley, but I would probably, or draft Barkley, but I would probably draft Hopkins just so I would have that true number 1 wide receiver on my team. And that pains me to say it, but I'm assuming if he's keeping Jordan Howard and McCoy, his wide receivers are probably not that good then.
I agree with you on that.
So, a little unfortunate, but if it was me, I would probably, I don't know. I would still go Hopkins, but...
Yeah, what's tough is, in situations like this, you just got to go off your personal big board. If you have Hopkins as a better player this year than you have Saquon, go with Hopkins.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, even if you have 2 running backs, if Saquon Barkley is your highest rated player and there's a potential you could keep him for the rest of your fantasy football day, another 8 to 10 years possibly, we could see this guy run roughshod over the NFL. I think that has to play a big part in your decision.
Draft pick number 8, assuming these guys are available, who do you take? Saquon Barkley, Odell Beckham Jr., Melvin Gordon, Hopkins, Julio. Standard scoring.
Standard scoring is a keeper.
Doesn't say.
I'd still probably go Saquon. I think in most cases he should be running back 5 or 6 off the board. Then you got to throw Antonio Brown in there. So he should be gone, in my opinion, based off my big board pick between 5 and 7. If you're getting him at pick 8, I think that's good value right there.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. It would be Saquon Barkley. If Saquon Barkley was gone, I'd probably be going OBJ at that spot, regardless if it's standard scoring or if it's PPR.
Quit doing standard scoring. Get some sort of PPR in there.
Dynasty question here. We got Joe Mixon and Rashad Penny, or Christian McCaffrey and Darius Geis.
Ugh.
Which 2 would you take?
That hurts. Ugh. That's tough. Let's try to separate this trade a little bit. So for me, it'd be Mixon and McCaffrey. For me, I'd rather have Mixon over CMC. But then, paired with Mixon, it'd be, what's his name? Penny.
Penny, yeah.
And then Geis. I'd rather have Geis in that department. I think Geis clear-cut better player than Penny. Better landing spot.
Here's the rest of his team. He's actually got his whole team on here, which is, thank you for having everything on here. A weird way to have this, but it is, it's super flex league. So quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a wide receiver, running back, tight end flex, 2 of them, and then a wide receiver, running back, tight end, quarterback flex as well. So a super flex league. He's got Drew Brees, Zeke, CMC, Keenan Allen, Josh Gordon, Zach Ertz, Bobby Woods, Alshon Jeffrey, Jimmy Garoppolo, Justin Tucker, the Rams defense. This is that fucking team.
Yeah.
Lamar Miller, Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, Darius Geis, Kalen Ballage, and Dez Bryant.
If I was him, I'd probably rather keep Geis and CMC.
Yeah. That's a crazy team. I wonder if that's 12 or 10 team.
Probably
or 8. Yeah,
that's a good team. You obviously have drafted well. You obviously must have had good rookie picks if this is a complete dynasty team as well.
Yeah.
Getting Geis, he's normally between the second and fourth player off the board in rookie-only leagues. So you're doing something right, sir. Keep it up, but I'd keep what you got going on right now.
Joe Mixon and Tevin Coleman for Sonny Michel and Corey Davis. Standard scoring, who wins the trade? Joe Mixon and Tevin Coleman for Sonny Michel and Corey Davis.
I wish I knew his receivers, but for me, the highest ranked player would be Joe Mixon, and
Here's his wide receivers: T.Y. Hilton, Julio Jones, and Nelson Aguilar, Devin Funches, Robbie Anderson, and then Corey Davis.
I think clear cut he's getting the number one player in this trade, and Joe Mixon, I think he's got RB1 potential. I would stick with him.
Okay, his running backs are Todd Gurley, Sonny Michel, and then his flex is Alex Collins. It's a tough trade to do. Like, honestly, if you do that trade, you're giving up Sonny Michel and Corey Davis. You're not starting Corey Davis.
No.
You're giving up Sonny Michel, yeah, but you're getting Joe Mixon and Tevin Coleman. And you still have Alex Collins. You still have to feel comfortable with that. I would do that
100%.
trade. I would do that trade for Joe Mixon and Tevin Coleman. Hands down. I would do that, I think.
Agree with that.
10-team non-PPR dynasty. Alshon Jeffrey and Russell Wilson or Antonio Brown.
Give me AB.
Yeah.
Even though, look, he's either 30 or right at coming up to that age. He's still got 2 to 3 years out of him. People they worry way too much about 5 years down the road. Worry about your team now, the 1 to 3 year range, and then figure it out once 3 years has passed. Get Antonio Brown for those 3 years, and your team's going to be a contender. Clear-cut number one wide receiver in fantasy football.
Who will lead the league in rushing this year? We have quite a bit of options, obviously. A ton of running backs. Who's your clear-cut running back that will lead the league in rushing?
For me, it's Zeke.
Zeke.
You got to look at that offensive line. It's improved. You got Connor Williams playing guard for him. He was one of my favorite tackles in this class, and they're switching him inside. A nasty, mean run blocker. If Tyron Smith can stay healthy, they got Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, Collins. That offensive line is stacked. They're going to be running the football, and I think Zeke has the best chance to lead the league in rushing.
Very interesting question here, Tom. Dynasty League. Should I give up Jerick McKinnon and a second-round pick to receive Devonta Freeman?
No.
Not at all. I'm going to answer that as well. No.
They're close, like Freeman and McKinnon in my eyes. They're either between running back like 11 and 14, pretty close, but not worth the second-round pick.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, if it was like a fourth-round pick and you can do that, or...
Is it rookie-only league, though, draft?
I'm assuming. Okay. I'm not sure.
Second-round pick isn't too much freaking value, in all honesty. But I do like McKinnon's upside a lot. That's kind of a fair, even trade if you just do them heads up, though.
Sonny Michel and Devontae Adams for Kareem Hunt and Randy Cobb. Who wins the trade?
I'd do Adams and Sonny.
Same thing. Yeah. Randall Cobb is going to be in a walking boot all year and probably not even be on the team. So do yourselves a favor. Go with the Devontae Adams and Sonny Michel. Jordan Wilkins for Tariq Cohen. Who wins this trade? Standard scoring.
Standard?
Yeah.
So most likely in a standard, that's probably each team's running back 4, 5, or 6. So that's tough. I'd probably rather take Cohen. I like Wilkins, his landing spot in Indy, but he also has a lot more mouths around him trying to eat. It's going to be harder for him to get a clear-cut chance there in Indy than Cohen is to make somewhat of an impact in Chicago, where he's the clear-cut third down back and number 2 running back there. Wilkins, at best, could be running back 2 there in Indy.
Yeah.
Worse could be running back 5 or not even make the roster.
I got a good question here for you, Tom. Dynasty. I already have Zeke Elliott. There's a guy that wants Kamara in a fantasy deal. Do I accept the deal or no? So he has Zeke Elliott. He's got Kamara. Guy offers up Robbie Anderson, Dalvin Cook, and the Patriots defense for Alvin Kamara.
I'd look to get a little more out of him. Look, right now, Alvin Kamara, it's the best. It'll probably be the highest value he's ever worth.
And he's already got the Rams defense.
I'd try to get another position player out of there, but it's somewhat close. I do like Dalvin Cook a lot, and I think him and Kamara should be ranked a lot closer than they personally are right now. And that'd be a fantastic, nice 1-2 punch with Zeke and Cook right there. But Zeke and Kamara ain't bad either.
Who would you rather have in Dynasty PPR? AJ Green, Tyreek Hill, or Devonta Freeman, and why?
What was that? Dynasty PPR?
Yeah.
Freeman, Hill, or Green? Was that it?
Yeah.
Just getting one. I think AJ Green would be last on that list for me, getting up there in age. We've seen those nagging injuries starting to build up. I think that offense is changing a little bit. I don't think he's going to be the dominant 100-catch wide receiver anymore. He's getting close to getting out of my wide receiver 1 range. I know that's a little controversial take right there, but give me Tyreek Hill. Perfect age right there in Kansas City. It's going to be an air raid offense. Absolutely love Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, he's been kind of a little bit lucky there. Really hasn't been given the amount of targets that we normally see out of wide receiver 1s, but I think those targets are going to improve, and those big plays are going to continue to happen with Tyreek Hill. He's the fastest man in the NFL right now, and I don't see that going away anytime soon.
Yeah, I would take the Tyreek Hill player side of it as well. We do have the question open on SleeperBot, and this troll, Tristan77777, he posted 10 questions. What is love? Do you know the scarf meme? What is mailbag? Do you know I posted multi-questions up until 10? What's a sideline? This is 6. Who is Fish? Do you know who James Harden is? Who is Mike Breen? Last but not least, tell me all 30 teams of the NHL. You're a troll and I love it. So
good job, man.
Thank you very much. Christian McCaffrey and Jamison Crowder, or Freeman and Moore. Dynasty PPR.
Who was it, McCaffrey and who?
Jamison Crowder.
And then, sorry.
DJ Moore and Devonta Freeman.
Ooh. I'd probably take Freeman and DJ.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably side with that as well. Jamison Crowder, as much as hype as he's getting with the Alex Smith connection, there's still a lot of mouths to feed in that offense. They brought in a lot of people, so it'll be very interesting to see where that team goes on the wide receiver aspect of it. So it'll be very interesting overall. Cooks for Jarvis Landry in PPR Dynasty.
Give me Landry.
Yeah, I'll take Jarvis Landry as well, even though Cooks did finish pretty high as a wide receiver last year in PPR. It's just a little unknown, so no thank you. Who is the number 1 tight end in Seattle?
In Seattle? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't even know if I know who's even freaking there right now. Is Wilson still there?
I don't know if he is.
I don't even. Vanette, I think that's one of the guys.
Vanette is one, yeah.
I have no idea. I'm not targeting any of them. Facts.
No, yeah, so what's his face is not there. It's Nick Vanette, Ed Dixon, and Will Disley, which I have no idea who that is.
He's a blocking tight end drafted this year.
So Ed Dixon and Nick Vanette. So it's probably Vanette for me.
Probably.
But you shouldn't have even asked that question.
I hope Hunter Henry plays for them with like one leg.
Yeah, it's awful. Do you think DeMarco Murray is going to get signed by somebody this year? And if so, what team do you think will sign him?
It will happen, but it's probably gonna need one of the better running backs to get hurt. We've seen that happen in the past. Either a guy pulls a hammy late in camp or tears his ACL in camp, and then that wily old vet goes and signs there. I have no idea who he's gonna sign with. There's really tons of options. Let's see. Let's say Marlon Mack never gets back to form. He's returning from shoulder surgery, and Indy needs another vet running back. He could go to Indy. Yeah. We could see C.J. Anderson absolutely do nothing in Carolina, and them sign him to take over that Jonathan Stewart role. You could see the Jets, Isaiah Crowell, absolutely do nothing. They still need a bell cow there. There's tons of landing spots. I don't know if he's going to be super productive anywhere he goes. It wouldn't surprise me if John Gruden signs him in Oakland to pair him up with the other 30-year-old running backs that he's brought in there. It'll be interesting, though. I still think he's got some tread left on those tires. Don't think he's going to be a very super productive fantasy option, though.
Would you spend like a 14th round pick on him?
Possibly. If you're drafting this early, it might be worth it. I've seen crazier things happen, but really just depends how deep the league is. But if you're getting him as your running back 5 or 6, it could be worse because most likely you're dropping that player if he doesn't produce week 1 or week 2 on the waiver wire. So,
fair enough. Let's see. 12-team PPR Dynasty Draft. I'm drafting from pick 11, or the number 11 spot. Who would you take? Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, Leonard Fournette, Melvin Gordon, or Cook?
I would probably take Mike Thomas there.
Can't guard Mike.
That's who I would take. Gives you that nice floor, 100 receptions. He'll probably get double-digit touchdowns this year. His touchdowns were a little bit down last year, but I think that's almost a perfect spot for Mike right there.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara or Saquon Barkley?
Ooh. PPR, standard, what?
PPR.
I'll take Saquon.
Fair enough. Why?
I think there's a very good chance that he has more touches than Alvin Kamara this year. And normally, touches is what equals to fantasy success. Alvin Kamara had a historically efficient year last year. I don't think he's going to be that efficient this year. I don't think he's going to average over 6 yards per carry. I think there's a good chance he still catches 70, 80 footballs. But I think Saquon Barkley has a very good chance to catch 50 to 70 footballs, but get twice as many rushing attempts than Alvin Kamara. It's all about volume in this situation. Saquon Barkley is a better overall prospect than Kamara is. Kamara might be in a better system for his overall skill set, but I think you got to go with overall talent and overall volume of touches, and that's Saquon Barkley this year.
All right, 2 last questions, Tom. I have pick 1.3 and 1.5 in the rookie class. Who would you take and why?
Is he saying who's going the first 2 picks or no?
He did not, no.
Most likely, Saquon will go number 1. Most leagues, you are seeing Darius Geis go number 2. So he's got 3 and 5.
Yeah.
At those 2 spots, I think you could wait on Royce Freeman right there. I think he's got a better chance of falling to 5. At the 3 spot, I would be looking at Sony Michel. Look, the New England Patriots drafted him in the first round. Second skill position player that the Patriots have ever drafted in the first round. They normally go with the big uglies. The last one was Lawrence Maroney. I believe that was in like 04 or 03. So it's been a while. So Bill Belichick obviously believes in the player. I think he fits that system perfectly. As much as I hate Josh McDaniels, he's an offensive guru. He gets running backs involved. And we saw what a versatile running back could do in that system last year with Deion Lewis. I think Sony Michel is an upgrade over Deion Lewis. At 4, let's say they go Royce Freeman. I'd be looking at either what's his name, Rojo.
No.
Come on,
can't do
Rojo that. Or what's his name, Penny for Seattle.
Yeah, me at that spot, I'd probably go over Rashad Penny. Yeah. I'd probably take that jump. Last question, Tom. Dalvin Cook for Jerick McKinnon and Cooper Kupp, full point PPR Dynasty League.
Ooh. Does he have the rest of his team? Is he deep?
He doesn't.
I'd rather have Cook.
Okay.
I do like McKinnon a lot. He's not super old. He doesn't have a lot of wear on his tires. Cooper Kupp is also super young, but he's also kind of an old second-year player. I believe he's 25 already.
Super young but old at the same time.
But it's not. Yeah, it's just that tough gray area, similar to how Calvin Ridley is going to be an older...
25, right?
Yeah.
Almost 30.
Yeah, yeah, almost 30, halfway to 50. I just think Dalvin Cook being 22 years old, coming off that bad knee injury, but I think he's got potential to be a legit running back number one for the foreseeable future, and that's a great franchise to be on right now.
I agree. It's not a bad take there, Tom. I like that. So, anything else you have?
That's all I got.
I think that's all I saw that was pretty relevant. So
Fun mailbag.
Yeah.
Thanks for everyone that asked some questions.
Keep the questions flowing. You guys can always tag us on Twitter at PonyKegSports, at Pony_Keg_Tom, and at Fight Talk Tim. Always go to our website, PonyKegSports.com, and always email us, PonyKegSports@gmail.com as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This will be posted probably later in the week, and we'll kind of go from there. So hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll talk to you next time.